So it's early in the morning, waiting in the parking lot real quick so I can get me some fruit. Just trying to eat better, do better. Want to talk real quick about why women should not have kids. Not quite sure where to start, but first of all, let's say cash rules everything around me. Pretty much all our beliefs, anything we ever been taught, pretty much any of the knowledge that we know is pretty much based off some kind of capitalistic marketing campaign. Let's get that very clear. Most of all the shit we associate with something has to do with money. And historically, motherfuckers with money was the ones that made the rules, right? So essentially, everything we ever know, any kind of traditionalism that we know of, was not created with women in mind. So basically, the world we know today is the world that the white man created. So let's get that very clear. I haven't done no research. Let me make that clear too. I'm just going off of logic. Now, once we do the research, I may be proven right, I may be proven wrong. But I'm going off logic. Logic to me says, given that everything in our society is based off capitalism, based off some white man saying, hey, this is how it's going to be. I'm going to pay somebody to do some kind of study. I'm going to pay somebody to provide some kind of evidence that proves what I want to make more money and what I say to be true. Okay, so let's get that clear. So when I say women should not be having kids, you should not be having kids. And for the reasons that you're told that you should have kids, it's all fucking lies. Okay, all lies. All right. So I'm just going to start back to, let's say, colonial days. I'm just going to start back to like days the agricultural days, but there's another word that they use for that, right? So let's just go back to when people had farms and shit. Okay. So once again, women, you should not be having kids. And of course, society's going to say, hey, you should have kids because that's pretty much what you were created to do. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit. And they're probably going to go back to the Bible and say, well, Adam and Eve, God said will grow and multiply, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, but God also destroyed everybody on the whole freaking earth. So it ain't about reproduction. Let's get that clear. That shit ain't about reproduction. So I think that's the first misconception when it comes to why women should have children. Because, that's what that's how God wanted it. I seriously doubt it. Okay? If God can spontaneously create a human being in a woman that supposedly never slept with a man, he don't need women to motherfucking have kids. He can just basically snap his fingers and, motherfuckers are up here. So the fact that God wants you to have kids, I think that's a lie. Of course, who created this God? Who created this God? And this God that all these black people worship was not motherfucking created for black people. All right. So that's the first one. Bullshit. All right. I'm just going to go to I don't know why agrarian is in my head, but back in the agrarian days, I guess the days when people farmed and stuff, think about it. Once again, it goes back to money. Think about it. You got a farm. You got a big ass farm. It's just you and your wife. You got this big ass farm. Tending to this farm by yourself is a hell of a task. So what happens? They have children, and these children become employees. So essentially, children weren't even created for the sake of, let me extend my legacy. What motherfucking legacy? You were just born. Now you're having kids. What legacy have you created? Create a legacy for yourself and then think about creating a legacy through having kids. But this is just all my opinion. This is shit I think. This is the shit I think about, right? So once again, it's all about money. It's more economically beneficial for a farmer to have children to work the land for free versus hire some people. And God forbid they get slaves. No, we don't want that, right? So let them have their kids. So that's essentially why back in the day, people had 12, 15, 20 kids, because these were essentially employees to tend the farm. Earn your keep. So once again, there was no incentive there for women to have kids. The man is like, no, I need workers. He's not like, I love you so much, I just want to be fruitful and have kids. Hell no. I'm almost sure it won't like that. Because if that was the case, the explorers would have stayed in motherfucking the mainland, but instead they was trying to get the fuck away from their wives and explore. They won't think about no fucking kids. All right, so once again, so it's not because God wants you to reproduce. That's not the reason. It's not because, oh, women should be having kids early. No. Once again, that's capitalism. Who created these rules? Who created these rules? Right, white men, right? Who had no respect for women whatsoever. Women back in the day might as well have been in the same category as slaves because they were really just only needed for the pleasure of men. And then the farmer said, aha, let's tell these women whatever we want to tell them to convince them that we need all these kids to tend the farms. And then once again, it's all about money. From the minute you conceive, what happens? They want you to start spending money. They want you to go to the doctor. They want you to start taking these pills. They want you to do this. They want you to do, and don't be led to believe that you can't have children naturally, because then now you're going to IVF, you're doing artificial insemination. That costs money too. So I just wanted to be known that women, you're not encouraged to have children for the sake of having children. You're encouraged to have children for capitalism. Fuck.